So hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and attention, we are on the PTR. So this is what my Druid looks like now. Kinda cool. Think the head is too big. His head is too big. The hairdo though, very fabulous, very good to look at. It's different, I probably have to get used to it. And another thing I've just kind of realized is we have back the old Guardians in the Undercity. We no longer have the Cochran Orcs. We have the good old patchwork looking dudes, which is nice. Just nice. So we're here in the Undercity and we're gonna take a look at the new pendulum system for our Eclipse. Now, a couple of things before we start doing some rotation and stuff. When you're out of combat, it will default itself back to 0, which is nice. So you can always start with in the same spot, right? You don't have to use Astro Communion just to get somewhere because, oh my god, we're gonna pull and this tank is going too fast and I can't set up. So that's that, which is kind of nice. Astro Communion no longer moves you when you're out of combat. It only moves you when you're in combat, like that. See, and it goes all the way there. It's much faster than it used to be, but it doesn't really matter. So next thing, Star Search and Starfall are on a charge-based system like we had with our Force of Nature, 3 ants. And they have a shared charges. They have shared charges. So you can choose to either do Starfall or Star Search. Now, Star Search still does a shit ton of Spellstorm damage, but it will buff you depending on which Eclipse you're currently in. Okay, so if you're in Lunar Eclipse, it will boost your next 2 Starfires by 30% damage. And if you're in Solar Eclipse, it will boost your 3 Rats for 30% damage. So that's that. We don't have Sunfire. Moonfire and Sunfire will change depending on your Eclipse once again. And the limit of Starfall was removed. Excuse my coughing, I'm sick. So, you can now do Starfall 3 times in a row if you need to do a lot of DPS. But you probably don't want to do that because we have Hurricane and you're going to move back into Solar Eclipse, and you don't want to use Starfall when you're nearing the Solar Eclipse. You want to use Hurricane. So they removed the 20 bolt limit that we have with Starfall on live servers right now. You maybe don't know this, but you can only hit 20 times with Starfall. They've removed that and it will hit all enemies within 40 yards, as you can see down there, dealing damage every second for 10 seconds. Okay, so we have 4 training dummies in here. If I activate Starfall, we're gonna get 40 bolts falling from the sky. We're now gonna get 80 because this Druid lady decided. Let's actually take a look at the Druid lady, what they look like. Oh, she's mad. So that's kind of cool, you know, getting some reliable AoE, which is quite nice because it's just there. You press it, you can run around, you know, it's like the old Starfall, but you can do it more often, which is nice. Okay, that will give us some AoE potential as Druids. So, that's pretty much that. Now, the Eclipse system, I thought it's gonna be more fiddly than it actually is. Okay, it's actually quite natural. I'm still making a ton of mistakes while playing and doing a rotation, but it actually feels quite nice. So when we start, we're not gonna do any cooldowns and shit. We're just gonna do some stuff. So we start with Star Wrath. We start moving towards the Lunar Eclipse, and I guess we're gonna do Star Search. So we get the Starfire bonus, and when we reach the Eclipse, we will get bonus to our Moonfire. So we want to use Moonfire when we're at the peak, when we're at 100. Now we got another charge, and I already screwed this up horribly. So we're gonna do another Star Search, so we get our Wrath bonus, we reach the Eclipse, we do Sunfire, and we're going back down. And we should not do Starfire, we should do Starfire now. Now, what you might have noticed is that when you reach the Eclipse, the pendulum stops for a while. So let's just watch that. As it reaches 100, as you can see right, yeah, it will stop for a while. It will just stay there, and then it will start moving again. Okay, so that's quite interesting. Next, we no longer have instant Star Surges. We no longer have that. Okay, instead, shooting stars now gives us another charge to either Star Search or Starfall. So that's another different thing. And actually, even though I was kind of like, I don't know if this is gonna be the same amount of fun, it actually is. It's weird to describe this. I don't know how to describe this properly, but it's just good. It feels good. It's not too hard to relearn. It's gonna be really easy to learn, but I feel like it's gonna be really hard to master and to pinpoint when you should cast Star Surges in order to get the most out of your spells and to be the most efficient. I feel like this is gonna have a lot of depth once we start theory crafting it on the Elitist Jerks forums or anywhere really. And I feel like it's gonna be really good. It's gonna be a very robust system that at first glance will be really easy, as it was in Pandaria, but when you really start getting into it, you will realize how flipping insanely difficult it is to actually pull it off properly and to get the most out of it, which I feel is just a great thing. I feel like it's just very good. I feel it's really, really good. Now, cooldown wise, Chosen of Elune, it's probably something you want to use, because the 3-minute big, you know, I'm gonna turn into a massive owl cooldowns are being taken away from most classes. Okay, classes can't really stack cooldowns as we can as balanced druids in World of Draenor. So we'll probably want to use Incarnation so we can just dish out as much damage as possible during Bloodlust and Potion and stuff. So Incarnation is the same. Now, Celestial Alignment has been changed. It will pause the cycle, and it used to do that as well, right? It would throw you into the middle at 0, and it would blah, can't talk. I'm sorry. It will grant you both eclipses at the same time, as well as increasing damage on life. Now, it will just stop the eclipse cycle for 15 seconds, and it will give you a 20% damage buff, and with Moonfire will also apply Sunfire. So let's try this out. And we're moving. So let's just try to do some, you know, makeshift cooldown usage. So we will reach 100, then we will use Borados, and then we probably want to do that, Star Search, and we want to fire off some Starfires. One more, and then another Star Search, and more Starfires, okay, to do the insane amounts of damage that we do right now. So that's something you might want to get, you know, kind of bashed into your head, that cooldowns are going to be different. The spell usage is going to be different. I still get confused by the eclipse meter. You know, when it's going towards solar, I have a tendency to cast lunar spells to get to solar, but you kind of have to unlearn that. And it really feels like, honestly, it feels like it's going to be really good once you just get into it and start playing around with it. And that's it for the quick look. I will do more videos once we get more content on the PTR. But for now, I thank you a lot for watching, and download PTR. You can get there. Everyone can try this out. So, see ya.